Hey, do you teach yoga? Have you ever trained to lead yoga classes, to be a yoga therapist? Have you ever owned a yoga studio? Maybe even just wondered what it was like for the women and men up there in front of the room on their mats, leading you through endless Surya Namaskars, down dogs, and pranayamas galore? Well, these are their stories, and mine. I'm Rebecca Sebastian, a 20-year yoga teacher, 10-year yoga therapist, yoga studio owner, and co-founder of a yoga-focused nonprofit. I've done a lot in the yoga world over the last 20 years. Pretty much everything except had a water cooler. You know, a place to share stories, talk about struggles, successes, and find other people who do the same thing that I do. Welcome to Working in Yoga, a podcast and substitute water cooler for yoga folks to connect and build community, to share our unique profession, our challenges, and our journeys with the world.
Hey friends, welcome to Working in Yoga. This week on The Math Nobody Does, we are talking about online businesses. I actually think a lot of us have sort of dropped the ball in online yoga teaching. And I know that in-person feels best for a lot of us, but online teaching or hybrid teaching is just a new skill set that we can build that helps stabilize our careers. But other people really do have this idea, especially in the online yoga business coaching world, that this is going to be the thing that saves you from financial struggle. So we're going to take on the math behind the scenes of online yoga teaching today, and I cannot wait to break it down for you. In the meantime, if you could like, follow, subscribe the podcast from wherever you're listening, this helps support this work, and share this episode with a friend who you want to start an online yoga studio with. Next week is the last week of this series, and after that, I'm going to have a new series ready and waiting for you the following Monday. Okay, let's get into it. The math of the online yoga business. Okay, the online yoga business has been sold to yoga professionals as a solution for almost everything. Unlimited reach, passive income, freedom from the studio model and the per class rate, the ability to earn money while you sleep, a global audience instead of a local one. The people selling this vision, and there is an entire industry of yoga business coaches selling this vision, are not lying exactly. Online yoga businesses can generate meaningful income. I run one here with the podcast and the digital magazine. Some yoga professionals have built genuinely substantial digital businesses. What the marketing for this path does not show you, though, is the math. What it actually costs to build an online offering. How long the runway is before it generates meaningful income, what the real conversion rates look like, and why the people selling courses about building online yoga businesses are often earning more from selling the course than they earned from the yoga business itself. Today, together, we are going to build an honest picture. So here is the story that gets told about online yoga businesses. You create a course or a membership program or a series of digital offerings. You build an audience through social media and your existing student base. The audience buys the offering. You deliver it once and it sells repeatedly. Wham bam, passive income. The implied math is something like create a $200 course, sell it to 100 people, earn $20,000. Do it a few times and you've replaced your teaching income with something that doesn't require you to be physically present. The math is technically possible. The question is what it actually costs to get there and how long it actually takes, because those numbers are almost never in the pitch. So let's build the real picture. Start with the platform costs. Hosting and delivering an online course or membership requires a platform. Teachable, Kajabi, Thinkific, Marvelous, and similar platforms run $39 to $200 per month, depending on features and plan level. Over a year, that is $468 to $2,400 that you've spent before you've sold a single thing. Next is technology. Recording quality video especially requires a minimum a decent camera or smartphone, a microphone, basic lighting, and video editing software. Entry-level professional setup, $500 to $1,500 for a one-time investment. And don't forget about those ongoing software subscriptions. Editing software, Zoom, or the equivalent for live components are $200 to $600 a year. My costs are roughly $416 a year just for that aspect alone of those ongoing software subscriptions. There's marketing. An online offering doesn't sell itself. Email marketing software runs $30 to $100 per month. Paid social media advertising to reach people outside your existing audience. Even a modest budget is $300 to $500 per launch. Over a year of building and launching, that's $1,000 to $3,000 in marketing costs. And then there's your time. We're going to put numbers to this here. This is the biggest cost that is almost never counted, and I'm totally guilty of this. Building a quality online course from scratch. Outlining, recording, editing, uploading, writing sales copy, building the sales page takes somewhere between 40 and 150 hours depending on the course length and your production standards. At an opportunity cost of $50 an hour, which is a conservative figure for an experienced yoga professional, that is $2,000 to $7,500 in time cost alone. So your total investment before your first sale is $4,000 to $15,000 in time and money combined. Now, let's talk about the revenue side. A typical email list conversion rate for a digital product launch is 1% to 3% of your list. If you have an email list of 500 people, which is really a meaningful list for most yoga professionals, a 2% conversion rate means 10 sales. At $200 per course, that is $2,000 in revenue from your first launch, against $4,000 to $15,000 in investment. Growing to a list size and audience that generates meaningful online revenue takes most yoga professionals 2 to 4 years of consistent content creation, email list building, and audience development, on top of whatever other work that they're doing. The yoga professionals generating $50,000 or more per year from digital offerings almost universally built that over 3 to 5 years, had a significant existing audience when they started, or both. So here's what this means for you. Online yoga businesses are not passive income, especially not at the beginning, and not for most people for several years. It is a significant investment of time and money with a long runway before it returns meaningful income. That does not make it wrong. Building digital offerings can be a genuinely smart long-term strategy and a way to generate income that is not entirely dependent on your physical presence. But it is a long-term strategy, not a quick financial fix. And be skeptical of the people out there selling the vision. The yoga business coaching industry has built significant revenue on selling the dream of passive online income to yoga professionals who are financially frustrated. The coaching is very often generic. The timelines are incredibly dishonest for the most part, and the people selling it usually earn more from the coaching than from the yoga business model that they're actually teaching. So if you want to build an online component to your business, and I think that's a smart move for a lot of us, but I want you to start small, start free, build your audience before you build the product, and plan for a 2 or 3 year runway before it contributes meaningfully to your income. It is a real path. It just has a real timeline, and you deserve to know what that is. Okay, my friends, the online opportunity in this industry is real. The timeline is longer than the pitch suggests. Build it as a long game and plan accordingly. Let's go get to work, my friends, and I'll catch you around the water cooler next time.